Hello and welcome. I am Jack Vogt, the obsessed movie man. I am here on Behind the Projector. Yeah, that's the name of the podcast. Thank God I got it right this time. And we're here with two guests who I haven't been with since Halloween. First off, Abby from Abby Normal Picture Show. Hello, Abby. How are you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing great. How's it going?
Doing well, thank you. And Mr. Lovewell Loves Today, aka TikTok Frankenstein. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, just fine. Just woke from my slab and I'm tightening the bolts.
Well, I greatly appreciate you guys being here. I especially since I got the time wrong. I was like looking at Mr. Lovell said the thing like it's gonna be 10 p.m. on our time. Like I can't do math, but I graciously appreciate you two being here. Thank you, gentlemen.
I don't
Of
know.
course.
And of course, I think you'll appreciate why we're here today. We're talking about Godzilla, which is something I'm surprised we haven't done a podcast on this channel in a while. But I'm glad it's with you two. So we're gonna be talking about everyone's favorite Godzilla 1990. No, you can't see it. I put a little. Never mind. I thought I had it.
And I hang up.
Oh God, no. We'll get into it. We'll get.
No.
Actually, you can't see it because it will be a thumbnail. But Mr. Lowell, this is actually not the '98 Godzilla. This is it's the animated series Godzilla.
Uh,
So
the
that
only one worthy enough to be called Godzilla. Yes.
Exactly.
but in all seriousness, the topic is actually favorite Godzilla designs. I believe Abby, you actually selected this. We were coming up with like Godzilla topics, and I think Abby, you were the one who wanted to talk about designs. I th
Yeah, I definitely kind of did because there's, I'm not like sure exactly at this point what 37 films where Godzilla's appeared in,
Too
and
many.
almost
Yeah, 38.
38 now. Oh joy.
Yeah.
And each movie, even if they're using the same suit, there's some slight differences to them. And everyone, just like everyone has their strong opinions about movies, everyone has their own specific favorite Godzilla design.
That's true. I mean, each decade had its own look for Godzilla, and it definitely gave a basis for how he's viewed. I mean, originally, for the Showa era, most recognized design more than likely is going to be the one that originally posted up in Destroy All Monsters, right? That's the
Hmm.
suit they use. They used that suit for about what, 5 films?
Yep, five appeared in 5 films.
From Destroy All Monsters all the way to Godzilla versus Gigan, and by that film you could actually see the suit falling apart, which was fitting because it was probably the movie first time Godzilla actually took the most beating. First film where Godzilla bled.
Yep.
Interesting enough.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, in the '90s you have the high side Godzilla, which has a very definite design, very bulky, very round. He has some big
Hmm.
old thighs, but
Yep.
but yeah, but yeah, and nowadays with the MonsterVerse and the Reiwa era, Godzilla has a more realistic, more well, it's all CGI now, but
Hmm.
Okay.
nevertheless, we're still feeling good.
Occasionally motion capture too, but you're right. Technically, even
Occasionally, yes, yes.
Yes.
which is why you wonder why Andy Serkis just doesn't travel to Japan because
He'd make bank.
yeah, he's played
Yeah,
Kong already. Might as well play Godzilla too.
yeah,
Exactly. He could play Khan and Godzilla all in the same
Oh,
film.
can you imagine that? If he's just one session doing Kong and then he has to go into the other session and do God.
that would be interesting. Yeah,
But we're going over. But yeah, you're right. Even if there's, even if they reuse the suit, there are slight differences. One of my favorite things that I always notice about Godzilla, is, depending on the era, the changes in toes. Like I'm looking, I have a Godzilla shelf
yeah,
right now. I'm looking at it right now. Destroy is terrifying, staring at me. Like there's even things like the toes in the Showa era. Aside from like 54, he usually just
mm,
has three toes, and the rest of the series going forward, he has four. So like there's very interesting changes they make, and then there's little changes, big changes like Shin Godzilla and stuff like that.
right.
But I think we could go into the topic at hand. Favorite Godzilla designs. I'm going to start with Abby first since he came up with the topic. And Mr. Lovell, I'm sure you have a lot to say because God, like, well, you both will have a lot to say. I just ran in Mr. Lovell and for the topics. I'm very curious. I'm curious. Let's start. Abby, I hit the mic. Abby, what is your favorite Godzilla design?
Well, I'm kind of cheating because I put it right behind me over here. The
Beautiful.
Godzilla 1984, 1985, depending on which era you're looking at. Also have my own right here.
Oh my gosh, you have the same
Mm.
one I have.
You actually
I
have the Bandai figure. Yeah.
I do. Took forever to find one that wasn't way too expensive.
There.
Um,
Yeah, I get you there.
Now, why is
One of the reasons I love this design in particular. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just asking, yeah, I was asking why that one in particular.
Well, the beautiful thing about this design, it feels like it's a perfect mixture between the two eras. You have the almost classic design of the head structure, the bit larger eyes, and the way like you said, he's got the four toes and more of the classical build of it. But it's also brought to a different age. It rejuvenated Godzilla from slowly becoming that hero-like character. Like, nah, he is the king of monsters for a reason. He likes to wreck stuff up. Not to mention, they built a humongous animatronic to use in certain sequences of that film and
The Cyber Godzilla.
Cyber Godzilla. And I loved all the close-ups on his face every time he roared because you could actually see the lips move on the
Oh,
animatronic
he
suit. Like
snarled.
he
Yeah.
snarls.
They actually made a figure of that too from the same company, Cyber Godzilla. But
And
yeah,
yeah,
you actually surprised me because I almost picked the 1984 Godzilla as well. Because that's a very nostalgic look for me. Because I remember, oh, Raymond Burr's in this one. I want to see Raymond Burr and what happened to Steve Martin. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Martin. I wanted to see what happened to him.
I love the fact that they had to change his not his full name, just return him to just Mr. Martin because it's like Steve Martin was a popular
The
comedian at the
popular.
time. They
Yeah.
didn't want to confuse anyone.
Like, and I forgot that Roger Corman actually he produced.
And I have seen both copies. I even have the Blu-ray of the Japanese dubbed version of it. Um,
I have the VHS.
ah,
The VHS copy I have of Godzilla 1985 includes a pre-movie animated short that's quite infamous called Bambi Meets Godzilla, which is a simple, I would say, no more than a minute long short.
That'd be
Uh, it goes through an animation cycle of a deer lifting its head up, then putting its head down to the grass, nibbling. It does that one, two, maybe three, four times, and then a gigantic Godzilla foot steps down,
perfect.
crushing the deer underneath. And it finishes out with claws retracting on the toes like a cat,
mhm.
which weird, but at the same time fitting. And then it just goes right into the movie.
I remember seeing that vividly. I think it actually got a jump scare out of me, or like I was so used to the deer looking up when it got finally
Mm-hmm.
came down. I was like, Jesus.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of one of the little differences, which it's funny that it's the foot going down and coming up of the fact that in the one of the differences between the 1985 American release to the 1984 Godzilla film is there's a sequence where you actually see a giant Godzilla foot stomp down. You
Oh
don't get
yeah.
that in the American version, so that you just bring that up just kind of makes me laugh. I'm like, it's like they knew. It's like they knew that was going to be cut.
Do you guys
You know,
remember?
it's.
Sorry,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
No, go
so
ahead,
I was
Jack.
just gonna say, do you remember the drunk guy who shows up near the end of the Godzilla
The
film?
homeless guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
yelling at
He
Godzilla.
shows up during the attack and he's taking advantage of the fact that there's nobody around, so he's bumming and taking all the food from restaurants that are just
Best
there because
character in the movie.
everything's abandoned.
I love that guy. He should have been in the sequels, just randomly appearing out during kaiju fights.
He would have been interesting, but that was saved for Mickey Seguza in the sequel.
Fair. The
Yeah, but
inferior character. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love Mickey.
no, no. Yeah, interesting. You brought up 1985 because it'll definitely play into the question that Jack's going to ask later for me.
Hmm.
Oh, for both of us, but either way,
Oh, I actually forgot. That was how we were supposed to start it out, and we're gonna keep this in. Don't worry.
that's fine.
I
That's
will
fine.
ask you guys
We'll do.
after. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it after. So, Mr. Lovewell. Actually, unless
Mm.
Abby, do you have more to add to your 1984 design?
Nah, no, I think I said it all. I just love the overall design of it. It is the perfect mixture between two eras. Still has the larger eyes, even though every now and then the eyes kind of separated a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. And the suit, the eyes were broken, so they would constantly go cockeyed.
Exactly. Especially there's a sequence where he's crashing into the wall and you could really see his eyes farther away from each other. It's just like goddamn. Exactly.
Oh,
Was he drinking some of what the homeless guy was drinking that night for crying out loud?
you're drinking
Man,
some delicious Dr. Pepper.
he had he had a bad batch of nuclear radiation.
That's right. Got that plutonium 24, not the
Uh,
regular 25 he gets.
man, these Japanese people are just being cheap with their nuclear power.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
Yeah, Mr. Lovewell, favorite
Yes.
Godzilla design, sir. You have a
My,
lot to choose from, I assume. Well, you
oh, I've got a lot of love for just about most Godzilla designs, even some hated ones. Um, like for example, I would say what I'll say first is runner up, right? The honorable mention, and I might be alone in this. I actually like the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla design from the classic show with the Calico and Godzuki. Um, I like the fact that the thing is, Hanna-Barbera was a studio that functioned as a cheaper cartoon animation studio. So they had to come up with separate characters that were easy to replicate, easy to do animations of quickly. And in my opinion, the design they came up with was essentially Godzilla. And it in look and style and he even had the four toes, which the Showa era that was happening around the same time did not even have.
Mhm.
So, there were a lot of elements there. I mean, I will admit the dorsal plates being stars, a little weird, but I don't hate it. But however, if we're talking about favorite Godzilla designs, you know what? I actually have a figure of it. If you'll give me a second,
Yes, yes.
and that way I can put it on display, and Abby doesn't have to show up by having a freaking poster behind him.
Oh, I got more that you're gonna hate me for, but I'm gonna save that for a little bit.
there are shots
don't
fired
don't
here.
make me hate you.
There are shots fired tonight, folks.
You said that in the same tone of just don't make me destroy you.
That's right.
I got him doing James Earl Jones.
All right. Well, my favorite Godzilla design is none other than GMK.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the I'll just say this for anybody who isn't aware. Um, the concept of Godzilla is physically impossible in our world.
Yeah.
However, if you ever was a situation where a Godzilla could exist, this is the one you don't want.
No. No, you
Uh,
don't.
this for those uninformed, this Godzilla is more or less the kaiju form of Jason Voorhees. So
Oh.
there are few Godzillas that exist that actively seek to exterminate humanity.
Yep.
This guy is consciously after people and things weaker than it. He's just very mean. he's he is functionally evil. The reason I like the design is because one, it plays very much into the saurian aspect of Godzilla. I can appreciate when they're the reason Godzilla has ears in the Heisei era is because they didn't want to make it feel like a regular animal. He has to feel like a supernatural beast, if you will. This version of Godzilla does that. Also plays more into the original 1954 design, but also makes it sharper and more angry looking. Also, the whited out eyes really give that feeling of it
Mhm.
being this unbelievable, horrifying nightmare. In a lot of ways, you could compare this design to, funny enough, Nightmare Gamera which comes from the Heisei Gamera series, which the director of GMK was the director of in those, so you can feel the influence.
Yep.
Another reason I like this design and this version of Godzilla is because more often, almost every time, Godzilla is a character that is tied to the science fiction realm, right? He has a level of being explained. He's a mutated creature of some kind, or he has some ancient connection to radiation. With this Godzilla, it was probably one of the first times he is purely a supernatural being, right? Like a
Mhm.
mystical force, which is the original purpose for his creation in the original films. Um, and in that mind, that's why it's still my favorite design. He's very powerful. He's a lot quicker than he would look, and once again, just
Very.
very very dangerous looking. But yep, that's me.
I am angry at you, Mr. Lovell, because that was going to be mine. But
Oh,
but I do have a runner because I do love GMK is my comfort Godzilla movie. I would not say it's the best, and it's not the original, but it is my favorite for almost all the reasons, like the fact that Godzilla is more or less possessed by those who died in World War II, hence the I mu
he's actually possessed by those who were killed by the Japanese during the Pacific conflict. So
Mhm.
that's not even just Americans. I mean, considering the horrible things that the Japanese did to the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the
Mhm.
Chinese, we're talking all of those vengeful spirits coming for Japan. And that is it's also kind of like in minus one, it's the filmmakers in Japan in a few instances showing their a criticism for their own government,
Mhm.
which kind of makes it a protest movie. Uh, and it's a very deep and meaningful ideal where your past coming back to haunt you. And if anything, I feel like that should definitely be something tied to Godzilla moving forward in the minus one films because it was a very big topic where the government basically said, "Look, you're on your own. I know you're facing some gigantic mutant beast, but hey, we can't do anything."
that was a
But yeah,
I was going to agree with you. It is a very in minus one. They actually did have heavily talk about how you're Japan, you're on your own. We can't deal with this thing. Shin Godzilla, they even dealt with that too. But
right,
Mhm.
right,
it is like a relatively newer theme that's going on with the Godzilla stuff. I think.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I find that the Godzilla films where a lot of the focus of the story is there is this dark entity that arrives like a dark storm, a vengeful spirit, or the reactions to nuclear testing that created the monster that they made, and then you have the Japanese government's response to the when you have
right.
that perfect combination of it, and it really, like you said, it's Shin Godzilla, Godzilla minus one, even Godzilla 1985 and the original ones. The
Mm,
ones that we think of the most are the ones where it just focuses, it shows the story of the people and how they have to deal with the situation and everything, and how poorly they do it or how great they do it.
right, right. Yeah, like how 1985 has the Cold War as a backdrop. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the tension between America and Russia, which Japan definitely had to deal with into some capacity. Um,
I thought it was a great idea to put Godzilla into that time, that
oh
era.
yeah, yeah, definitely bringing him back for that situation. Shin Godzilla definitely being influenced by how they handled the Fukushima incident.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With the tsunami and the radiation that was leaking out into the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm still kind of scared that something's going to pop up from there after that. But you know, uh,
How it?
and then
You go ahead, sorry.
oh yeah, and then also a lot of people don't know the reason that Godzilla's depicted that way in GMK is because around that time, Japan was trying to change the narrative of what happened during the Pacific conflict. They were trying to forget what happened, trying to erase it from their history very quietly, and that was a
Hmm.
criticism of it.
Oh, I didn't actually know that part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, in the movie, when the old man is talking, why is Godzilla? Why are these spirits angry? Because the Japanese people are trying to forget what happened.
Oh, yes, I remember the line. I actually didn't know
Yeah.
it was happening in real life, though.
Oh no, no. It was a modern criticism that their culture was trying to fight back against. That a lot of the imperial higher ups were trying to make happen, but
We were talking about how certain Godzillas reflect certain issues, like you were talking about Shin Godzilla and the tsunami and
yes.
GMK and what Japan was doing at the time. I would like to add in, bear with me, 1998, and is talking about how there's a lot of fish problems in New York City. I mean,
Uh,
there's just a lot of fish, gentlemen.
there's so much fish.
All right,
So
I
much.
know it always comes back to 1998, but that was technically the first Godzilla film I saw in theaters. I don't know how you
No, that's all
over
right.
at Abby, and he's
I-
like, "You really want to go down that road, Jack?"
it's
Hit the road, Jack.
hit the road.
Never
That
heard.
that
Go ahead.
that just makes me think of our boy Godzilla in Final Wars taking care of that Godzilla
Hey, that's
quite
right.
swiftly, my friends, quite
Pre-
swiftly.
Pretender to the king.
Let's see if
Pretender
Pretender
to
to
the
the
king.
throne. To the throne. That was the name of the scene on the DVD.
you can't see
Pretender to the throne. Yeah.
Mhm.
Bandai Movie Monster Series official Godzilla 1998 figure. It's not Zilla. They
Mhm.
actually made a Godzilla 1998. He's my make placement for Zilla since Zilla sold out way too quickly.
Even
Yeah.
in Japan, it sold out quickly.
Oh, of course it did.
I'm surprised.
I remember I got the complete series on DVD once.
Before we go on to mine, what would you say? I'm curious. Have you seen the whole series? Because I only saw bits and pieces, and I
I
heard
have.
really
I
good.
have I have seen it. There are moments where they have arcs, like multiple episode arcs, but it's definitely very episodic. Which is good. I mean, it definitely harked back to that Godzilla Power Hour, the Hanna-Barbera cartoon,
Mhm.
where it's the monster of the week kind of scenarios, which they had some very interesting original concepts for monsters, especially like the chameleon, right?
I remember that one.
Or the one that was the cloning monster, right? Where it was like a slime that turned into Godzilla, and they had to figure out which one was the right one to shoot this particular special weapon into. The Sea Rex, the Crustaceous Rex, that was an original,
Mhm.
interesting concept of a creature. And they even, for an episode, bring these creatures back and kind of make a monster island.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Pretty cool.
You're
Also, they
back.
have oh, you're back in the frame. And they also have an alien invasion that plays into it, so it definitely has like a destroy all monsters. Also, in this particular 2 episode version, the original Godzilla from the film comes back as a cybernetic weapon
Hmm.
used by the aliens.
He's technically their version of Mechagodzilla, kind of.
It's technically Mechagodzilla, and
Yeah.
actually in the show, he is the only Godzilla that shows up in Japan, in Tokyo specifically, to destroy it.
Hmm.
That's so cool. Was that like the last episode? Like that's the I mean it's an arc, but it was like the last series.
I Was it a series finale kind of situation? I feel like it might have been. It's hard for
Yeah.
me to remember directly, but it definitely ended it with that kind of flair.
I guess in the meantime, then I will go with mine since I was almost picked Abby's, then Mr. Lovell stole mine. No, um,
You were snubbed.
I was. How dare so?
With good choices, good choices.
I guess I'm.
Hey,
I guess I'm gonna
great
go.
minds think alike.
Exactly. I think I'm gonna go with Manila since he's staring into my soul right now. No, I'm kidding. No, not that. Um, I'm gonna go with the first official Toho Godzilla film that I ever saw in theaters. Godzilla, technically 1999, but we call it Godzilla 2000.
The
Hmm.
Millennium.
The
The
Millennium.
Millennium.
That's the first one I ever saw in theaters. I was a little kid. My mom took me to. That's the one. Abby's holding up a great figure of that guy. I love
Oh yeah.
the purple jagged dorsal plates. I love we were talking about how thick the 80s, 90s Godzilla is. This guy takes it to a whole nother level, I think. Um,
He- yep.
I remember after seeing the movie, I think my dad, he actually had someone a coworker who was from Japan. He brought this Godzilla Orga 2-pack where you could hit the thing and sounds would go off.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we couldn't read the box because it was all in Japanese. But it was such a big part of my childhood because I loved that movie. I still have somewhere I still have the VHS tape because I just recently got rid of a lot of my Godzilla VHS tapes. But
Right.
I it's such a nostalgic movie, and a lot of it is because of Godzilla's design, because it's something after coming off of the 1998 travesty, it was
Yeah.
Right.
great to see something that actually looked like Godzilla.
And
And
acts like Godzilla.
Yep.
Yeah.
It took America to make a Godzilla film that not a lot of people like for Japan to go, all right, we got to fix this. We're bringing the big man back.
That's right. Because the thing is, there was actually supposed to be a trilogy with the TriStar films,
Mhm.
and that didn't happen so fast. Have you ever heard the story of when Roland Emmerich brought the design that he had for Godzilla to Toho?
yep, it's so funny. Tell it.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
I don't know if you have. Yeah. So apparently they came up with a mock-up design. I believe the person who Roland Emmerich, Dean Devlin hired was his name was actually Chitopoulos, and his name was used as inspiration for Matthew Broderick's character. And when they brought it into the board meeting with Toho to show them the design, because they had the final say, right? They hold on. Toho holds on to their Godzilla rights in the same way that like Disney holds on to Mickey Mouse. You know,
Hmm.
they did that, and when they unveiled it, the entire room was silent. They just were just staring at it the entire time for a few minutes, and then finally they said, "Yeah, could you guys go so we can have a small discussion?" So they do. They walk out, and they came to the conclusion that it is so different. It was so uniquely different to whatever they would have asked. Anything they could have asked to be changed about it would not have mattered.
Hmm.
And so, since everything was already in line and they decided just, just go ahead, do it, we'll take the gamble on it. And then, of course, you get a Godzilla that burrows to the ground and is killed by average military weaponry, which no one no one thinks of a Godzilla and says, "Yeah, definitely, just shoot a few missiles at him. That's all it takes."
So, in other
Uh,
words, you like the movie.
Toho did not like them. Toho had a wild rage of this film because I think the head man at Toho, one of his criticisms was, of course, America couldn't make a Godzilla movie without being able to easily beat Godzilla.
Yep.
So in response to that, we actually got the Millennium series because of it, because they felt they had to do an instant course correction for this entire situation. They created the Godzilla Millennium movie and the Millennium series Ignasium as a response to the '98 film. They did it so quickly that a lot of people thought that Godzilla 2000 was the direct sequel to the '98 film.
Which is both fair and also insulting to Godzilla, it seems.
Kind of
Yep.
baffling, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
design is so extremely different. I did like the trailers that they did release. The Americanized the American trailer for Godzilla 2000 when it was coming to theaters, and it had Super Beast by Rob Zombie as a favorite, which it felt so fitting.
It did. I
It was
love
so,
how some of the sequences they used in that trailer were from the Japanese cut, but never actually made it to the American cut for Godzilla 2000.
which is wild. Yeah, there was a lot of cut scenes that you never really know about. Like apparently during the jets coming around attacking Godzilla scene, he was supposed to charge up and shoot a beam at them. And
Hmm.
actually, if you've seen where they're doing that, they all shoot him once and then fly up into the sky. His spines are glowing.
Hmm. They
Uh,
are.
They,
another thing I really like about that movie is that when he first uses it, his his neck does kind of like a whip kind of thing.
Hmm.
You know, it's just,
We get it's like that type of situation.
Yeah, it's so cool. It makes him feel so much more organic in a lot of ways. But yeah, that's that. Although I will admit the when he is walking the beach, we can see that they just did not have the budget to make that
No,
not look like green screen.
That was
they
incredible.
did not. You could see how fuzzy it is with every bit of it. I have the even on the remastered Blu-ray version of it. There's no helping it. It's just gonna always kind of look not great.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Absolute cinema.
yeah. Um,
Sphere cinema.
yeah.
That I
Though to be fair, I think we had a good transition into the next question that Jack was going to ask us.
Yes. Why don't you like Godzilla? Okay, I'm done. I swear. I swear. I'm done. Um, Mr. Lovewell, I'll start with you first.
Okay.
How did you get into Godzilla?
A very very interesting thing. When I was small, when I was a boy, I you know
Pinkman?
Bored.
yeah. No, when I was younger, I liked dinosaurs, right? Grew up watching Barney the Dinosaur, and then you get a little bit older, and you watch the movie Jurassic Park, Land Before Time, and you just grow to have an affinity for these gigantic reptilian creatures. Yeah, you watch the original Lost World. King Kong comes around, and then in the late '90s, all of a sudden, merchandising and media um, and Godzilla as a character is thrust back into the popular zeitgeist for a new generation, which was mine at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and he's everywhere, and it's this concept that you're brought that says, "Hey, this is a gigantic dinosaur monster that destroys cities and fights other gigantic monsters." And for me, being someone who likes dinosaurs, I'm all over it. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And one thing I will admit wholeheartedly is that they went so hard on the publicity for the film of the '98 movie. They really like this lantern is as big as his eye. Size matters. The trailers, the commercials, like with Taco Bell, with
Yeah, the footprints.
the footprint here, lizard, lizard, lizard.
Yeah.
Um, but I grew up in a particular tax bracket, which is not always considered well off, but we did pretty good enough to be able to go every Friday to a video rental store. Um, because we didn't have the budget to go to the movie theater to see the film. So I would be constantly going in there wondering, hey, do you have it yet? Do you have it yet? Do you have it yet? And one particular Friday, I'm walking down the sci-fi horror section, just probably 5 years old, timidly looking at the scary VHS cases of A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. And I perused this one that has this gigantic reptilian creature standing over a city, which is exactly the picture behind you, Abby.
Mhm.
And my dad points it out to me. It was like, hey, that's Godzilla right there. Because I wasn't even able to much read at the time, so I couldn't tell exactly what it was. It was that one, and it was Godzilla versus Biollante. They had them right next to each other. So we picked up both, and I watched them, and that was my very first introduction to Godzilla films. The 1985 with Raymond Burr and Biollante, and I was enraptured by the suitmation, by the creature designs. Um, Godzilla was a epic force in my eyes, and he was just this amazing, kind of like the first time you go to a zoo and you see a lion roar,
Mhm.
kind of idea to it. And then eventually the VHS for the '98 film comes around, and I watch that, and I'm like, where's the blue laser beam?
Yeah, it's not realistic enough.
He does it. Where's the book? Why is he being harmed by average artillery?
What's with all the babies?
What's with all the big things?
I forgot.
What who who greenlit this? But
Funny.
but the thing is, after that, uh, my life turned into a wild goose chase of every flea market to find any Godzilla movie I could find. And yeah, you get introduced to Godzilla versus Megalon, Son of Godzilla, Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, if you're lucky.
Hmm.
Um, you get new birthday gifts of like the VHS tapes that the tapes line up in the box. They show a picture of Godzilla, and the only Godzilla information you can find are books in the library. Which there was that one. I don't know if you ever saw this one, Abby. This kids movie monster book that told
I
about Godzilla.
Kind
I
of.
think I remember that.
Is it kind of orange?
Oh, it's just like
Yeah, it
vague
had, like,
memories. Yeah,
writing. The
orange.
book was from. It was a stock photo from Ghidorah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see if I can look up what the book is called, 'cause I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but so there's that, and and this is before there was wide access to the internet, so you couldn't really look up anything about anything unless you had someone able to do that. And I tried to learn up and absorb everything I could about Godzilla just from what I was watching and just what I could find. And yeah, ever since then, as information became more available, I've learned, I've theorized, I've been a Godzilla fan. And in all honesty, the more I gained, the more I came to appreciate the different aspects of Godzilla. Of course, when you're a kid and it's Halloween and it's late night horror monster movie times and it's playing the Showa films, you're enjoying it because Godzilla's the big hero. You get a little older and you want a little bit more nuance. You look to the high sci films where Godzilla he turns from that force of destruction to more or less just being a force of balance. Um, then you get a little bit older, the Millennium series comes around, and there's a new type of film every other film. There's no one mainline continuity. Then Godzilla Final Wars comes around, and then you find out, hey, there's not going to be another Godzilla film until you've graduated high school, and then some.
That
Uh,
Uh, to
also
which I just
the
yeah,
Crestwood House Monster Series books is what you're thinking of.
yes, thank you. That's what it is. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that was my Godzilla journey, and it's where I am today. I believe I have I think I've tried to absorb every piece of Godzilla information that exists, and to extent most Toho monsters, even Daiei, Gamera, Daimajin, and it became just a gigantic affinity for any kaiju films. So yeah, that's my tale.
It is a great tale, and I've been very curious to hear how you got into Godzilla. And I'm equally as curious to know how you, Abby, got into Godzilla. So, take us away.
I love how it seems like for everyone who was raised in our generation, it's almost exactly the same when
Yeah,
it comes to Godzilla movies.
it's all
So,
Roderick's fault.
yeah, man, that man.
And
Um, so for me is I was raised off of old classic monster movies, old sci-fi films from both sides of my parents, my grandparents. So there was always a level of Godzilla in the background, even from before I could remember. I had actually around the same size as this. It was me and my brother both shared a large figure of Godzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah,
that
where
was
they were both
as well.
sound activated. I have no idea where they're at now. They
Is that the
could.
trend?
What was that?
Is that the Trendmasters figures?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
so
And where his like Godzilla's eyes glowed, he made the
low
roar
red.
from his
Yeah,
chest. And so we always had that. And even back then, I didn't really remember like where they came from. But I remember distinct memories of going through Blockbuster
mhm.
and stumbling upon like, hey, that's the big toy I have. but there's like a giant monstrous flower with giant teeth behind him because you remember the artwork for
Oh, it's immaculate. Who
it's
I can't remember the name of the guy who did those artworks, but he did them for every single high sci film.
he did, and he sold the films with just the artwork showing like what kind of monster is this, and even if you come and see the monster looks nothing like exactly how he did it, it just brought so much energy. Even as a small child, I'm like, that looks scary, but I kind of want to see it. Turns
It drew
out,
you in.
it turns out my family we already owned that one on VHS.
It's funny
We
that
are
you guys have talked about how you've come across Godzilla versus Biollante, you already own it, and I think that's one of the hardest ones to find nowadays, actually.
mm-hmm.
That's
I think I have that VHS as well.
Yeah. We have the VHS, and you could get that one on Blu-ray. It's like a combo Blu-ray one.
Yeah, there's also a DVD you can get. I think it
Yeah.
was off of what is it, HBO or something like that.
also now Criterion Collection.
That's also
Mm-hmm.
very correction. Yeah, it's hard to get the completed Godzilla works outside of the Criterion collection because a lot of the films sit in different studio hands for some reason.
Yeah. You can't. That's why it's so hard to get any remastered versions of anything as well with that because they're just holding on tight and they're not wanting it to expand outside. You see, I have a Godzilla DVD collection where it's all the Showa era Godzilla films all together.
Right.
It's like it's a box where it's got like sets of DVD boxes in it in the set,
Right.
and that's it. And if you look online for that, that's much more expensive than when we got it when it first
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
impeccably.
I have them on
And
the show on Criterion at least. Maybe it's I don't know how widely accepted that format is, but what I did was because the bookcase that came in was taking up too much space, I got a custom cover for to put them all in on Etsy. But that's how I keep all the
Yeah.
show. The Hayset, I have them all, but
Right.
the Showa collection is my favorite.
Right.
Sorry, Abby.
and
We
no,
continue.
you're
Okay.
good, you're good. And just like you went to go see the Godzilla 1998 version on in the theaters this time for me at least. It was the first time I ever saw Godzilla film in the theaters. And just like you, I was confused.
The impeccable disappointment.
Yeah, I just felt sad leaving. I'm like, why did he die? Why did Godzilla have to die that way? Because that's Godzilla. He's not supposed to go like that. And then the Godzilla 2000, the Millennium movie came out. We saw it in theaters, and even back then, even I thought it was a sequel, just like everyone else. But my parents were telling us, like, no, this is the real deal. This is from Japan.
I,
And
I gotta say, even the beginning of the film, the build up to Godzilla in that, where it's just this storm on a lake and there's a guy in a lighthouse, and then all of a sudden you're looking out the window and you just see a boat in between gigantic, massive teeth. And then
yeah,
you zoom in on the eye and it blinks at you, and then the roar happens, and it's immaculate.
and it just shows the symbolism of like, hey, remember everyone, Godzilla's a storm, and he came back.
Yeah, he is the storm. That's it.
And pretty much from that movie shot off. I didn't even see Godzilla 1985 until probably I want to say 10 years past that point. And which is funny because it ended up being my favorite of all the films.
Yeah.
Even the American version where it's edited with the original actor from the first one, um, Ren Byrne, and kind of more of a semi silliness they add to the Americans portions of it. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I have a hoot every time I watch it. Even make popcorn while watching
You
it.
know, do you know what's interesting? The reason that it has any seriousness to it at all is because Raymond Burr actually fought for that
Yep.
because he knew the importance of Godzilla's message, and he wanted to make sure that came around because originally they were going to be making it into a parody, like a la like the Kung Pao movie.
Oh no,
About that.
Yeah, and
which is a great
he said,
film by the way. But
no, we need to show reverence to this. This is a very big part of their culture, and it's a very important message. Um, even his monologue at the end,
Oh, I love it.
which is not something in the original Japanese, but it does add that extra layer. It is so well written and it's so well performed by Raymond Burr. It holds that haunting message that, sometimes um when man is in his hubris, the world will remind him just how fragile he is.
And even in 54, I believe Raymond Burr talked about the ending scene where Godzilla dies, and he said, I always felt sorry for Godzilla because he was just,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but
Yep. One day the world could wake up and live again.
I forgot to ask you, Abby, because you said you were sad when 1998 Godzilla died. Were you probably more sad when he quote unquote died in 1984 when he fell into the volcano?
Uh,
That one, not so much because I saw this the Biollante
Biollante
before
first
that.
knows he survived.
Yeah, so I knew that, like, well, this one comes out and explains why he's in a volcano when I got to the end part. I did feel emotional at the end of it, though, especially with, like you said, with that monologue. And you
Yeah,
hear
and
the way Godzilla roars.
he
It's a different,
shrieks.
it shrieks when he goes down, and you just feel awful for him. It's like Godzilla didn't do anything that he wasn't supposed to do. He did exactly what he's doing, and that's just what he was. He was. He didn't.
Essentially, he's just an animal acting off of instinct. It's
Yeah,
not.
Mhm.
he's not malicious in this film, in that film.
Yes,
Yeah, he most of the time use when you see him use his atomic breath is
it's a
because he's being attacked first.
yeah. Except for that helicopter, the news helicopter, he was just annoyed at that.
Yeah, but the press had it coming. It's the
That's it.
press,
Yeah,
paparazzis, you know.
even the Hulk, even Godzilla hates paparazzi.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
are you still playing child support for Manila?
I think he is denied any accusations of any connection to him.
He
Uh,
denies all familiarity to him and that little monstrosity.
that little plate, little Pillsbury Doughboy being mutated into Gary Coleman looking mother.
Come on, Mr. Lovell. You said, Godzilla says I should learn to fight my own battles.
Godzilla said I have to learn to fight my own battles.
I can't spit,
Uh
guys. Uh-huh.
oh.
I guess I'll go with mine quickly.
Go ahead.
My story. I don't have the best memory of it. I know that I was actually no. My parents told me that I was introduced to it by either preschool or elementary school. I think it was preschool actually. That's how long I've known Godzilla. And then I had a friend who would give me the Trendmaster toys, and I slowly started watching the movies. My fan theory was my parents tried to rent Barney from the Blockbuster but couldn't find it. They found Godzilla instead. They're like, oh, he's a little kid. He's stupid. That's my fan theory of how I got into Godzilla. But
Any guy in a dinosaur suit will work at this point.
wait, like Gorgo. But that's a reference I don't think anyone was expecting to hear tonight.
As a
No, I
deep
wasn't, but it's a deep cut.
Anyway, like you guys, 1998 Godzilla comes around. And even then I was excited for it, and I distinctly remember being in the theater at the ending when the stupid baby comes out of the egg and it cuts the credits, and I turn to my mom and I remember saying, "I don't think that's Godzilla, Mom." I said that. I remember being upset. I wasn't angry at movies yet. That came when I saw Son of the Mask many years later. However, I was disappointed, like many of you, and then it wasn't. I went when I saw Godzilla 2000. I realized, oh, I have been baptized into this culture of Godzilla, and I want to see more. And I collected the VHS tapes. I had families send in VHS tapes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I think I made a Godzilla costume, a poorly made one, but for like a Halloween costume, because I was just obsessed with this character. And like you, Mr. Level, I read those same books that I would go to the library and get as much information as I could on Godzilla. I would watch James Rolfe's Godzillathon. I would watch wikis. I
Yeah,
still watch Wikizilla on their YouTube channel when they put stuff out.
right. Hmm.
I've been a Godzilla fan back. I was a Godzilla fan back then. I still am. I probably will for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yep, it's a wild concept. It's an interesting part of the cultural zeitgeist that is international and is just as wildly recognized as
Uh,
um
like James
you
Bond.
know as an S in a diamond. is recognized as three circles, is recognized as a man in a bat suit. It's
Yeah.
it's just a wonderful thing to be a part of. And though we Godzilla fans definitely like to knock at Ozilla a lot, I even have my own. I've developed a way of appreciating that film in a ways. It is definitely not a Godzilla film, but it is a good monster movie. It is a good popcorn film,
Mhm.
and the design for the creature is not a bad design. It's a bad Godzilla design, but it's not a bad monster design.
No.
People like to compare it to the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, which is
Yes, it
fine.
probably would have fit better as a
Right.
remake of that. Yes.
It looks
Yeah.
similar to the Rhedosaurus. I'm not even joking. It kind of
Even
does.
this, even the setting is similar.
Well, they both kind of have an iguana kind of form to them. So yeah.
I wanted to, because we should probably wrap it up. I
Yeah,
want,
Mhm.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, it was
We were agreeing.
before we wrap it up, I have the thing that you're actually both gonna hate me for, but I'll let you finish what you're gonna say first, then I'll feel the hate.
Oh, I was just
No.
gonna, oh, so Mr. Lovell or me? Sorry. Oh, yeah, I was just gonna wrap it up, but we can't. Let's hear what you were gonna say, sir.
All right, so here's my hate that I'm gonna receive from both of you.
Okay.
So just like this coming weekend, I'm gonna be going to a convention, MegaCon out here with wearing all kind of different outfits. Unfortunately, no Godzilla outfit. I need to win the lottery for that one. I won't
Real.
tell anyone I won the lottery, but you'll know. You'll see me walking around with a Godzilla suit on.
There'll be signs.
Yeah, there'll be signs.
I
Which,
will pay the hitman. He will shoot you between the eyes.
but I went to a little random horror convention of all places, and they had some very special guests. I got some autographs from, and this is where you're gonna hate me.
Oh,
How dare you?
no, no.
Yeah,
It was the guy, wasn't it?
it was the guy.
I
Didn't
can't
speak
think of
any
his name.
English.
He didn't
I,
speak.
I I know Nakajima. I know Setsuma. I never remember his name.
I don't remember this.
Well, that's where part of you is gonna hate me, but here's where the other part of you is gonna hate me.
Now
You.
I hate you.
So there were three different ones. I couldn't get the other one off the wall because that one was unfortunately kind of stuck in there. Three different super formers of the Godzilla era that were there. You had Ghost Godzilla from the GMK Godzilla film. You had the Millennial Godzilla, and you had Godzilla Jr. and King Ghidorah super former that was there. And I got signatures from all three of them.
And
Um,
before,
And
because we're probably having the thumbnail on this, unless I do put the images in here, that's Godzilla 2000 and GMK that you held up, correct?
yep,
yeah.
I'll hold it right here again for you.
Okay, gotcha. Hold
Mhm.
on.
Hard designs, man.
Look,
Hard.
when they were signing, it was like calligraphy. It was so beautiful.
It doesn't look like calligraphy. Crying out loud.
Yeah.
Angry at you, Abby, that you had.
I didn't know that I could despise you more.
I think if there's a Godzilla Fest coming up somewhere where the GMK Godzilla Superform, I think he's going to be there. I think it's in Los Angeles this year. So
Mm,
look up Godzilla Fest. Just kind of see if there's any popping up because you never know when you might see a Superformer. And
I,
this is one of the things is if I see any Godzilla Superformers at any convention, I am going to go see it. I'm
oh
going
yeah.
to get that signed.
I'm going to go slit my wrists. So
I will,
no, that's fantastic, Abby. That's great. I mean, all I've got is a picture with Ron Perlman.
it's still really cool. That
He's
Yeah,
actually coming out to MegaCon
it's
this year
cool.
too, so I
But
got a chance
yeah,
to meet him too.
but yeah, that's fantastic, man. That's fantastic.
I'll post in. Ironically enough, I was dressed up like a just cheaply, very poorly attempt at Lon Chaney's fandom with white face paint because I was trying to go with a black and white feel. I have a
That's
photo of me and my fiance with the Godzilla performers. I'll make sure I send it your way for that, so y'all can see it.
Oh yeah, that'll be great for the video.
I am still hoping that my wife from another time frame, Kumi Mizumo, will be at Godzilla Fest. Miss Namikawa from. I was trying to make a joke, but I'm now stumbling over my words. Never
You
mind.
know what? But if I go to a convention, I will hope that Rhea O, one of the first female super performers who played Baragon in GMK,
Yep. We have her go say, ah.
The
Now,
most adorable videos you ever see.
I will propose on the spot. That's
Now that we've mentioned our deepest, darkest secrets, all of us, I think we're going to call it a wrap for tonight.
all right.
Abby and Mr. Lovewell, I want to thank you, fine gentlemen, for joining on this me on this podcast.
Always a pleasure.
It was
Thank you.
it was great having you and to discuss Godzilla. We'll have to find another topic in the future, something horror related, something monster related. We'll find something in the future to do. So until then, thank you guys for joining us, and we hope you all have a wonderful night. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.